folks, Jason here with another drum set video. This is a follow-up to the first three-legged dog groove video I posted a few days ago. You can find the link to that video in the description box below. These are four more advanced variations on the three-legged dog groove. Just to review, the three-legged dog groove is the classic disco or 90s house beat, boots and cats and boots and cats and groove. So it's basically a stream of eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're doing this pattern of kick, hat, snare, hat, kick, hat, snare, hat, kick, hat, snare, hat, kick, hat, snare, hat, right under tempo. So in this video, I'm going to break down the four variations you heard at the very top of the video under tempo. These incorporate syncopations with 16th notes in the kick drum, as well as some doubles in the kick drum, and even ghost notes in the snare. These are the first four of hundreds of three-legged dog groove variations I show to my students, and this kind of gets them started off with these ways to spice up and create variation on that basic pattern of boots and cats and boots and cats and. So if you're ready, grab a pair of sticks, throw on some headphones, let's dive right in with the very first example, okay? Now, like all the examples, the hi-hat's gonna stay on the and of the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The kick drum has a slight variation to just beats 1 and beats 3. So think a 16th note grid. We're gonna break this down under tempo, be subdividing 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and. Again. One more time. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're just gonna add in the hats and the snare. Be subdividing 16th notes. If you're ready, let's go. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a go. Variation number 2 is essentially the same as variation number 1. All we're doing is adding in an extra kick drum note on the and of 3. So again, subdividing 16ths, here's just the kick drum part. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Let's add in the hats and the snare. 1E and a 2. Here we go. Okay, number 3 is going to involve some doubles in the kick drum, right? Again, we're thinking a 16th note grid. We're going to have 2 sets of doubles and a single. All right, so using the 16th notes of 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. That's 1E and a and. Again. One more time. Adding in the hi-hat and the snare drum, it would look like this. 1E and a 2. Here we go. And a. Now the last pattern is different than the first 3 in that while the snare drum is still playing the backbeat on 2 and 4, we're adding in one extra note, which is a ghost note on the very last 16th note of the measure. This is on the of 4. Keep in mind, and there's thousands of videos on YouTube about this, but essentially an accented note, you have a high stick height and you're really whacking the snare drum, giving a lot of impact, a lot of power. 1, 2, 3, 4. A ghost note is a whisper. It's exactly that. It should barely be there. So really low stick height and a very light touch, right? Unlike the first 3, because of that ghost note, I'm going to add the snare to the kick drum part, and then we'll add in the hi-hat. So again, thinking a 16th note grid, here's the 4th variation, kick and snare only. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, a 1E and a 2. All right, with the hi-hat, play along when you're ready. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a here we go. so if you'd like sheet music transcription, notation sent to you for these 4 examples, please feel free to email me at the email address in the description box below. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and have a great day.